Ellie, and I've been doing some work with Farming Connect on some land business clubs, and I'm here today with some students from Cymraeg College. They're level 3 students in their second year at the local college, and they're here to look at condition scoring with me. So one of the things I've been working with is these land business clubs, and I've been working with 7 groups of farmers throughout Wales. We started working with a focus flock in each group. That was before the rams went out in sort of October, November time. And the aim really is to follow those ewes through now the coming season, looking at some of the key performance indicators. One of the first things I wanted to look at was the condition score of ewes going to the ram, and also how much the ewes weighed as well. And it's been interesting focusing on condition score. That's something we've looked at again after scanning time, and finding obviously a very difficult year, quite a lot of lean ewes about. So that's one of the reasons why we've got the students from Cymraeg here today, is we're going to talk a little bit about condition scoring, and I've just got some ewes then that they can we can talk about as well. So one of the things, sort of key messages really, is that you can't tell how good a condition a ewe is in by looking at her. It's very deceptive, especially when you get ewes like this, sort of Texel crosses. They can look a lot better than they actually handle. So really the key message is, whatever time of year it is to handle your stock as often as you can. So these ewes actually vary in condition from condition score 2, which is a little bit leaner than I'd like this time of year, to 3, 3.5. These ewes are actually a month off lambing, so they're not too bad really for where they are. But they all look fairly similar, but actually when you do handle them, there's quite a lot of difference as well. So we've just been talking through with the students, you know, where to feel, what to feel for, the backbone, the loin muscles, and look for really the sharpness of a ewe in poor condition versus the smooth feeling you get when the ewe is in better condition as well. One of the things I found though, actually this year especially, is that ewes have been in poor condition going up to lambing, and it's very difficult in the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks of pregnancy to actually change the condition score without affecting lamb size too much. So really it's about planning. So one of the things we're going to be looking at with the groups is we're going to look really in detail at weaning time, and really start your winter feeding planning from weaning. That's really the first time, getting ewes up in condition score after weaning as soon as you can, and really trying to even out the condition score as well. One of the things we found was that in every flock I've been to, there were some thin ewes and there were some fat ewes. So really if we can try and hold those fatter ewes and actually give that feed again to the thinner ewes, that's actually a really good way of sort of saving feed for the winter really. So and then so we very much look at sort of planning ahead. I think it is one of the key messages really when it comes to condition scoring. As part of the business clubs, obviously to try and get some of the messages out to a wider audience, we're doing some regular bulletins, and in the last bulletin that's just come out in March, one of the things I've looked at is actually the scanning results, looking back at what condition the ewes were in a tupping. What I found at tupping time was that about 40% of the ewes were below target condition score. Most of the flocks I'm working with are sort of lowland flocks, and ideally ewes want to be in condition score 3, 3.5 going to the ram, but there were ewes at that point which were leaner than that. So one of the things I've been able to do is, because I've got individual records, is after scanning, I've looked at those same ewes again, got their scanning result and recondition scored them. And it's been very obvious the fact that the leaner ewes going to the ram have scanned a lot lower, anything between 20 and 30% lower than the rest of the flock. So that data is all being published through the bulletin. And it's although it's something we know as farmers, actually to see it and actually see that. So one of the things I'll be working with the groups is to try and put a financial value on that as well, because obviously we're not going to get all ewes up to the right condition at tupping, but it's really about setting targets as to how many you can get up to the right condition. So you can look at cost benefit really, because everything comes at a cost. So obviously if you are putting more feed into ewes, be it grass that could go into lambs, we need to know what that's costing and then what the benefit is, so we can actually make some informed decisions really. So that again is one of the key messages of the business clubs, is try and make informed decisions on what you're doing based on cost benefit analysis. And the other thing then we've also seen is looking at ewes between tupping and scanning, is actually obviously winter time, difficult winter, they've all lost condition, and it's a very consistent trend across all the flocks we're working with. It's something you'd expect through the winter, but the problem is because ewes were leaner going to the autumn, that's actually compounded the effect, so that they are, you know, in sort of leaner than you'd like going to lambing really. So it is going to be a difficult year for people, and it's and obviously there's not much you can do about the weather, but it's messages like, as soon as you've scanned, pull out your lean ewes for preferential treatment, and maybe even trying to split ewes as well. One of the things we saw was a big variation in ewe weight within the flock, between 20 and 30 kilos. And I'm feeling in some flocks that some of the lighter ewes, especially if they're a different breed, could do with being pulled out and managed separately to avoid bullying and that kind of thing. So there's little things you can do to help try and even out conditional score across the flock.